I already have a fiberglass pool. It's 22 years old, and for some reason this year it is popping out of the ground on one side.
So what is the question?
I guess what would you do?
What would I do? Okay. In my day, I've seen some fiberglass pools pop out of the ground. And I'm going to tell you a story from literally from today. I was on the opening crew and I was opening a pool that this has been a customer of ours for years, but I've never been there. And it's a fiberglass pool and a fiberglass hot tub. And they're separated by, I don't know, 10 feet, but they're at the same level. And when the builder built them, installed them, he put equalizer lines that go back and forth between the two. Makes a lot of sense, so that you're not overflowing one versus another. But the builder was smart in that he also put a tube down to be able to throw a pump in to evacuate the water. The customer had said at some point, or I was told at some point, that the spa had popped out of the ground a few times. And so I asked him today when I got there, and he said, yeah, it has. So for winter, what they did was someone devised this great idea of taking 5-gallon buckets full of concrete, rock solid, and setting them on the bottom of the hot tub for wintertime to help hold it down. I guess not a bad idea. So now I have to figure out how to maneuver and take those out of there. Understand, pool level was low, returns were set low. When it was winterized, it was low. All of the water is flowing from the hot tub, equalizing, because you can fill the hot tub quicker and it would equalize back to the pool. Well, I thought I should look down that tube to see how much water is behind the spa. That tube was full. So I told the homeowner, I said, I'm not taking the weight out of there. Not that it's going to make a difference, or if that thing's going to pop out. I said, because the groundwater behind the spa is up to the level of the spa. Why am I telling you this story? Because when you have a lot of groundwater underneath, you have a very buoyant product. The fiberglass pool is very buoyant, and it doesn't have the weight to resist it. A concrete pool can pop out of the ground as well, but you need a lot more force because the force has to lift the weight as well as the displaced water. Where a fiberglass shell is this thick and there's no weight to it, and it can push it out of the ground really simply. And in that case, like I told the homeowner, I left the water running in the hot tub so it would flow to the pool, left those in. I have to go back to remove those because that's part of, I guess, my service on an opening. But if you have groundwater underneath and around a pool, I'm going to guess one of a couple scenarios happened with this. I don't know for sure, but I've seen it happen. Homeowner gonna open their own pool, throw a pump on top of the cover, let the pump run for a while to drain the cover off. Unbeknownst to them, you have pinholes in the cover, so you also drain water out of the pool. By the time 2-3 days go by, because you got busy going back to work and whatever, this thing's drained the pool way down, and if you have water behind it, it's going to pop it out. And so it's going to be something like that. There's a source of water somewhere that you're not thinking of, or you drained the pool too low, or something happened and it popped out of the ground. How do you fix it? I guess maybe that was the original question. It depends on what the surround looks like as to what you can do. But the only way to really repair it, if the shell didn't crack or get damaged, the only right way to fix it is to lift the shell back out of the ground, rebuild the substrate, make sure to check all the plumbing and replumb anything that needs to get replumbed, and then put it back in the ground and refinish around it. It's the cost of putting in a pool, because you literally have to take it out and pre-prep, break everything out, pre-prep, set it back in, and then rebuild around it. So What a shame. I don't know why that happened. I wish I knew more of the details, but good luck.